Basketball, the game that everyone knows. Every kid in US played at least once or at least tried, but not everybody knows the history of the game and the best players ever were known. Hello, this is Top of Top and today we will talk about top 5 players in basketball, who they are, where they grow and how they start to get in the basket world. Let's start. Basketball is the game played between two teams of 5 players, usually indoors. Each team tries to score by tossing the ball through the opponent's goal, called basket. But who invented this popular game? His name is James Naismith. James was born on 6th of November 1861, Ontario, Canada, and the game was invented on 1st of December 1891 at the International Young Men's Christian Association training school, at the moment Springfield College in Massachusetts, where James was an instructor of physical education. For the first game of basketball in 1891, Naismith used as goals two half-bushel pitch baskets, which gave the sport its name. Everybody was talking about the newly invented game, and numerous associations wrote Naismith for a copy of the rules, which were published in the January 15, 1892 issue of the Triangle, the EMC Training School campus paper. But who are they? Top 5 players of basketball. If you search on internet, then every website will have their own top of the players. Here is my top 5 basketball players. First place, LeBron James. Second, Michael Jordan. Third, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 4, Shaquille O'Neal. And finally number 5, Larry Bird. LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. He has dominated the NBA since he came into the league at the young age of 18, fresh out of high school. When James came into the league, he was looked as the chosen one who would take the mantle of greatest from Jordan, and he did. LeBron has done things that no other player before him has been able to do. He carried the decrypted 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers team to the finals all on his own. He's defeated not one but two of the league's greatest dynasties for championship in the San Antonio Spurs and Golden State Warriors. He also brought a championship to Cleveland after 52 years championship drought. Outside of basketball, James also impacts the world in a positive manner. He created a school in his hometown of Akron, Ohio, that is specifically made for students who came from poor or broken homes. He has guaranteed each of the students a full-ride scholarship if they graduate through his school, ensuring 2.3 thousand kids will get a college education when they may not have previously had the chance. Also, he has advocated for African Americans against police brutality and has spoken publicly against discrimination. He is an advocate for positive change and improved culture. All of these things combined with his name makes him the greatest basketball player in the history of the game. Number 2. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, born on 17 February 1963, also known by his initials MJ, is an American former professional basketball player and the principal owner of the Charlotte Hornets of the National Basketball Association (NBA). He played 15 seasons in the NBA, winning 6 championships with the Chicago Bulls. His biography on the official NBA website states, "By acclamations, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all the time." I know what you're thinking about. Michael Jordan second place, that's not right. His ironies brought the game of basketball back to life when its ratings were at their lowest point. He was marketed better than anyone, putting the Jordan brand on the pedestal that has yet to be reached. Jordan is synonymous with the basketball. When people think of the sport, they typically think of Jordan. However, he still sits at the second place for me. Jordan is the greatest scorer in the history of the game. He wasn't born with the power of Shaq or the size of Kareem, and yet he could not be stopped by any player on the court. He won the league's scoring title 10 times during his career, and he's piled on the wins. Jordan won more than anyone. He set a record for wins in a season with the Bulls in 1996, when he led the team to 72 victories and a championship, a feat that wasn't broke for 20 years. He also has 2 separate three-peat championship runs and a perfect 6-0 finals record. Number 3. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, born April 16, 1947, is an American former professional basketball player who played 20 seasons in the National Basketball Association (NBA) for the Milwaukee Bucks and the Los Angeles Lakers. During his career as a center, Abdul-Jabbar was the record 6-time NBA Most Valuable Player, a record 19-time NBA All-Star, a 15-time All-NBA selection, and the 11-time NBA All-Defense team member. Abdul-Jabbar twice was voted NBA Finals MVP. In 1996, he was honored as one of the 50th greatest NBA players of the history. At the age of 24, he converted to Islam and took the name of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, meaning Noble One, Servant of the Almighty. In high school, Kareem won 71 consecutive games. After joining UCLA, he went on to win 3 consecutive NCAA championships, earning the tournament MVP all 3 years, a record that he still holds. He was drafted first overall by the Milwaukee. He played in Milwaukee for 6 seasons before finishing his career with the Los Angeles Lakers. More importantly than the game of basketball, Kareem was also an advocate who stood for what he believed in. He protested multiple times to stand up for what was right. In 1968, he boycotted the Olympics to protest the way African Americans were treated in the US. When Muhammad Ali refused to fight in the Vietnam War, Kareem traveled to join other outspoken black athletes like Jim Brown to support his decision. Kareem's activism is still seen as a strong area of influence, with young athletes like Colin Kaepernick continuing to fight for their beliefs. Without Kareem, this may never have been able to happen. Number 4. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq O'Neal is the most dominated player in the history of the NBA. He played center for the Orlando Magic, Los Angeles Lakers, Miami Heat, Phoenix Suns, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Boston Celtics. Shaq was also known as Diesel due to the fact that he was hulk of a man. He stood 7.1 inch and weighed around 325 pounds. Despite Shaq's enormous size and power, he was much more than an unstoppable force due to his size. Shaq was incredibly athletic, handling the ball well and being able to find his way in and out of a lane to score and grab rebounds. He famously played Michael Jordan and crossed Jordan on his way to the basket. Shaq went to create a great career for himself outside of basketball as well. It's rare to find a person who doesn't know who he is, even if they didn't watch him play. He's been an actor, spoken person, rapper, and more. His impact on the game and pop culture are unmatched, and his play is often forgotten or dismissed as great due to his size. The fact remains that Shaq was absolute GOAT at his position, and his exemplary play is reason why he's 4-time champion and an MVP. It's also why he's one of the greatest to ever play the game. And finally, number 5, Larry Bird. In full, Larry J. Bird. Born December 7, 1956 in Indiana, US, American basketball player who led the Boston Celtics to 3 NBA championships in 1981, 1984 and 1986, and is considered one of the greatest pure shooters of all time. There is nothing more difficult than deciding who is better between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. The two have the greatest rivals in the history of basketball and possible in any sport ever. Bird was drafted 6th overall by the Boston Celtics in the 1978 NBA draft. He started at a small forward and power forward for the Celtics for his entire 13-year career. Bird excelled in all aspects of the game, particularly in shooting, but he was also strong defensively in his passing game. Bird was the first player in NBA history to shoot 50% on field goals, 40% on 3-point shots and 90% on free throw in a season. He did it twice in his career. He also won 3 consecutive 3-point shooting contests. He would even practice shooting 3-pointers with his eyes closed. Bird led a great dynasty for the Celtics, winning 3 rings and 3 consecutive MVPs during his career. Bird is one of 3 players to ever earn the award 3 years in a row. His career is filled with things that few have accomplished, such as winning 3 consecutive MVPs, shooting unmatched field goal percentage, and sweeping Michael Jordan twice in the playoffs. He was a killer on the court, and he'll forever be known as one of the greatest players of all time. This was my top 5 of basketball players. What's yours? Write in comments and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Have a nice one and see you next time.